Yeah, you can see why he was probably not happy. It's a big day. He's well aware of what this game means to every single Spurs fan, and it's 3 times now that Arsenal have come here to this stadium and walked away with a victory. We'll come to Spurs, but first of all, Paul, we had to dash off to get to our second live game, but just spell out the significance of this result here for Arsenal this afternoon.
Oh, huge result. Missing 2 of their big players. They're big players. And to come to Tottenham, their arch enemies, and win this game and comfortably, really. I know, like, I heard Song say they dominated the game. They probably did, but never looked like scoring, really. They had a couple of half chances. That's not enough. The crossing wasn't good enough. Phenomenal result. The resilience, the players that come in. It's hard to come into a team. Jorginho hasn't played for a long time. You know, and he comes in and they all do their jobs. It's hard to do that, to come into a base. Because if one of them players gets lazy, Tottenham go through you like a knife through butter. And they don't. They all... Havertz and Trossard come back to a line, didn't they? They had an imaginary line across the pitch and they never went further back. They just stayed there. And their set-up was amazing, and then they counter-attacked and they work on set plays, and 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Again. Do you think it changes the approach for the game against City last week? Does it take the pressure off in a lot of ways as well, that trip to the Etihad?
Yeah, I think so. Now they can go there, be full of confidence. You know, everybody that have been watching today, the whole of the Premier League, they're missing Odegaard, they're missing Rice. They're 2 big players.
Well, you were really nervous.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I was 100%. I wasn't as bullish this time round. But for me now, this is a heads or tails. For me, this league's a heads or tails this year. You know, I always thought, who's going to beat Man City over 38 games? I see enough today that Arsenal will be there. Arsenal have every chance of winning this Premier League.
Does Jorginho play again next week?
I play Jorginho next week, personally. I think Jorginho breaks you. You know, when Man City go after you, he plays that quick pass. He's got great vision. He gets on the half turn and he passes that ball. And that's what you need to do. You've got to get past the press, because if you don't, it's a long day at Man City. They go after you. They all know where they're going. And for me, Jorginho was outstanding at the Emirates against Man City. Can he do it at the Etihad? Who knows?
Mikel Arteta as well. Just sorry, David. It's just when those fixtures come up, and he saw Tottenham away, Champions League fixture away, and
Jamie, it's Villa away.
Villa away, but especially this week.
Yeah,
this week. This is because it's a North London derby, and after obviously having the results. It was imperative they got that win today. You know, and I felt they were so strong defensively. Saliba and Gabriel, just the little details that made the difference.
Jamie, let me show you this
pieces.
graphic that spells out just how incredible this defensive performance is from this team, particularly away from home in this calendar year. This is extraordinary. They've won 10 of these 11 games, yes, scoring 31, conceding only 3 goals in those 11 games, 9 clean sheets.
And that's why, and Paul's mentioned it, and that's what I felt at the start of the season. And it's going to be difficult because of Manchester City and the start they've had, and the big problem for everybody is Haaland at the moment. But when if you go through the history of winning Premier Leagues, Paul's done it with the title, having a great defence. That's a great starting point. If you can defend well, you can score from set pieces. You don't look like anyone's ever really going to cause you too many problems. That is a massive key, Les, isn't it?
Do you think they could go there and play like that against Man City next week?
Was there not an element of them doing that last season?
Yeah, I think I think that graphic shows you. That graphic tells you one thing and one thing only. That's how good Man City are. That's what it tells you. Because if you're not winning the league and you've got an away record like that...
They also scored 91 goals last season, Arsenal, and still didn't manage to...
And that just tells you how good Man City are. We never give credit. Man City are that good. It's scary. It is scary, because putting up them figures is unreal.
And that's why
unreal.
And that's why I asked the question, because I thought today Tottenham had a lot of possession, but didn't show a lot of quality on the ball. And when they
so do you think if they do let Man City have that much possession, they will hurt them?
Yeah, I think if you do, then I think Man City have got the quality players to hurt you. I don't think Tottenham had the quality players to hurt them today. They had them, but they just didn't produce today.
Yeah, there was an argument, Paul, last year, going to City and getting a point, which was to some was a really good point, was the difference. If they go there and win, what a statement that is. And it's a lot easier said than done.
I think last year, Jamie, people were asking, could Arsenal have been a little bit more
aggressive? Yeah, exactly.
In the second half.
So maybe that's something you learn from. But right now, what's happened with this result today has meant, and given the luxury of thinking, if we get a point there next week, that's a fantastic start to the season for us.
Unbelievable.